Base resonator here. I guess I am a glutton for punishment in that I did not like how that a 3D bloom wasn't able to bloom yesterday, and so I'm back. This time I'm using a different resin. It is still an art resin, but it's from Resin Pro. It's called iCrystal. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, and they're having this big warehouse sale, and I think part of it is because part B is yellow. Look at it. It's not quite clear, but you know, for me, trying out a bloom with a whole bunch of other colors, especially these Brie Reese shimmering alcohol ink, which I'm finding are very difficult to find anymore. A lot of places are sold out of them. So I'm making use of them while I got them, while they're about a year old. So I'm checking the temperature on this resin. I mixed it up for a good 5 minutes, just like I did with the other yesterday. Oh, I just see some I don't know what it's on the mold. I'm gonna need a piece of tape. Did not like the fact that I ruined Miss Julie Cutz's bloom paste by not allowing it to bloom. So I'm going to use the same colors, but I'm using a different mold. This is a 11-inch platter. It's about, I don't know, it's got this lip thing on the edge that if I were to go all the way down to measure that, it's about ½ an inch thick, but that's only on the very edge, so the rest of it's not quite so thick. But it uses 16 ounces filling it to the top, so I've mixed up a little bit more than that just to be on the safe side, but I keep checking the temperature here. The resin is at 35. I think I'm gonna, because it's really low viscosity, this resin. It's most 2-to-1 ratio resins are very thin, so I guess I'm just playing it by temperature. I wonder what that would be if I went to what I'm used to with Fahrenheit. .94. Okay. If I keep talking, it'll get warmer. But I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to point those out while I'm still waiting. This yellow, oh, it's also got it written in French, and I have to shake it because it's already settled. There's the shimmery stuff is like a glitter type of material in there. So I'm using the yellow, cobalt green, and I've got these set around the mold in spots where I'm gonna drop the alcohol inks. Then there's the lake blue. Don't know which lake, but it's a lake. And then purple violet. And then red. Now let me make sure. Sometimes these lids really get, like that one around that purple was really sticking yesterday. I had to use pliers before I even mixed up the the resin to make sure I could get all of them off. Okay, so those are coming okay. So those are going to be around the outside. And then I am using the Let's Resin Metallic Alcohol Ink White Silver. And this also has sediment that has to be shaken, not stirred. And then again, I'm using for my center this Tropical Glitz Diamond Splinters, which are holographic type little glass shards, which you don't want to spill them, I guess. But what I did to make it so they don't go floating all the way is I put them in just a little bit of that resin, hopefully to get them to stay. Now, let's see what temperature I'm at. Now I'm at 96. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour in my resin. Very slowly to avoid any bubbles. Shouldn't have any bubbles. I ran them through my vacuum chamber out in the garage before I started this video. And I'm watching that lip area to make sure we're not getting any. So far, so good. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Bump. Okay, now I gotta get my head down here at an angle. See how much clearance I've got. I really need to get a different camera angle going for you guys, for y'all, because me sticking my arm right in front of everything is not real pretty. Oh, okay, I still got a little ways I was thinking I didn't mix up that much extra. Check it now. It's really deceiving in here with the light the way it is to tell where I am. But I see a little hair that's drifted in. I think that's, oh, I can see it now on the edge. Yeah, that's a good level right there. There's a little bit right there. A little bit right there. And an air bubble. Now, clean up where that drop happened right there. Well, you know, reaching in front again. Let me reach around. Oh, you can see my sleeve. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and of course, right when, oh, there it is. It's like right when I reach, I can't see it anymore. It's bubble gone. I think I'll keep this device over on this side of me so I don't have to reach in front of the camera screen. Okay, let me check temperature. Yeah, 97. Okay, time for the dropping of the inks. Actually, I think I'll put that center thing in. I'm going to try and keep it from... See how there's little circles that are the supports for the mold? I'm going to try and make sure... Oh, great. My sleeve's hanging down, trying to get into... Try and keep this stuff so that it does not escape that center area. That middle ring. Yeah, getting it a little wet helped it from floating yesterday, even though that attempt at the bloom did not work real well. When I was putting these in, those little glass shards are so light that they'll float with a little whiff of a breeze or a breath. So there is that. Whoa. Mixing that up. It's definitely some air bubbles. I don't know if you can see that holographic texture of those little shards, but man. Tropical Glitz is more of a automotive paint type store, but they do have some micas, and they do have things that work well in resin, like moving that wand there, and they look really pretty. So I thought I would use that, and I'll drop my... Oh, there goes my arm again. Nasty scar. I played football, American football, many years, and I usually broke the bones of other people, but I had a couple people break mine. And if you ever hear me say my left arm is inept because I can't hold things very well, it's that scar is the proof. So my sister at one time said, "I'm going to give you a nickname. I'm going to call you Scarm." Sisters. Okay. White silver alcohol ink in the middle, over the top of those. This is going to be the back side, so we don't have to worry about that. But metallic alcohol inks always seem to float. I'm going to move that over here. I'm going to spill it if I don't watch out. So now, make sure these are shaken and not stirred. James Bond. If you know, make another James Bond movie. James Bond. Bond.com. Yeah, that's what he should say. Put 3 drops over here. 1, 2, 3. I really want good coverage, so I'm going to put more than that. I said 3, didn't I? But that was with that smaller circle mold that I was using last night. Boy, look at those things shimmer. They look so cool. I want more over here. Now that lid, I'm just going to leave it alone. Put the red here. Oh, reach right in front of you again. Sorry, folks. Gotta do it again. That still not spreading out like I was wanting. Now yesterday, the blue went to town. You know what? What if I just do that? Fill that up. Fill my cup, let it overflow. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry again. Go all the way to the edge of that purple. And then the same with the red. I knew there was a reason for me not being able to put these lids back on real quick. That silver that I put in the middle just sucked itself back in. Well, these are really pretty colors. I'm hoping you can see what's happening with that shimmery, shiny. They just keep, I don't know what they're doing. They just bubbly action going on. Remember I was saying my left arm's kind of inept, even for dropping alcohol inks. That silver. Temperature are we looking at now? Almost 98. How about the white? It's at 100. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I had a clip around here. Just a second. Okay, that clip was over there by the desk. Since this is really thin, maybe not make that hole too big, because it's definitely gonna run. Okay. Sorry about this, but I'm gonna have to go. Oh, that stuff is sinking. That's pretty wild. Okay. I'm gonna start in the middle. Come on now. after this row, I'm going to go out into the colors. Maybe I should have mixed up a little bit more into the white. No, I still got a little bit to do what I wanted to do. Now I want to come in from the outside. Then I'm going to try for a little, I have a little bit left. I'm going to try for some dots out here. In between the colors. Already got some there. And those colors already went together. I guess I can just leave the rest of that. Okay, now, since I've already used this little tool, I'm going to use him again. Try and fix these little areas. Where did I see those? Sublobbies, all right there. Drag these in. Let me grab another little piece of paper here to wipe my tool. Get that red started towards the middle. This is definitely blooming nicer than the one I did yesterday. Different resin makes a big difference. I was hoping that when this cures, that this that I'm dragging in will cause some of the rest of this color to come in with it. These vibrant colors. And it looks like they're sinking a little bit. Okay, I still have a little bit of room. And I saw Julie do this in one of her last videos. I'm just going to do a clear push right in the middle. Hope that glittery stuff that I put in there doesn't go flying out. Well, it's staying put. That's good. Okay, I think that's about all I can do. And I I see it's starting to move, which is wonderful. But I think on these drops that I did, and even on some of these others, I'm going to have some blobbiness. Well, that's what I get for this resin being super thin, but I did not want it. You know, you get burned once or twice, and you get gun shy. And just trying to get the best combination of resins here to do my blooms. Well, I'll come back after a while and let you see what's going on. Okay, I wasn't getting as much action as I wanted, so I took my trusty silicone tool and just dragged through it, melding the colors. So we got, in the purple we have a little bit of blue, in the red we have a little bit of purple, in the yellow we have a little bit of the red, in the yellow, I mean in the green we have a little bit of the yellow, and so forth. So it made it a little bit more interesting. It still looks like some of that white went down a little bit deeper than I wanted, and even some of that sediment stuff in these alcohol inks that makes them shimmery, I think, sank. That's what it looks like. We'll have to wait and see for the unmolding. So we'll see you later. Unmolding time. Now I know some stuff has happened in here that looks really cool, but I'm still afraid I've got some bloops that went all the way down to the bottom. But let's loosen this up. Okay. Dun, doo, doo, doo. Wow, that's an interesting look. That silver, when I did that extra pour, went out, and well, these colors, I'm not really convinced that those colors, they look real good on this side, that they spread well. And those bloops didn't get all the way down to the bottom. They just, that's a very interesting thing. Very interesting. It's very pretty. I wonder what that would look like. Well, with black behind it, I'll experiment with some other colors behind it, because it does have a little bit of a lip right there that I could, without having to worry about a mold, just put down a solid color behind it. I'll experiment with some different things, but this white when I did that little push with the clear, it looks like some kind of, I don't know if any of you have ever studied anatomy and physiology, but the inside of the gut lining, there's this little thing called villi, and that's what this reminds me of. So my resin is reminding me of my human anatomy and physiology days, and this is gut lining. Anyway, so I feel better about the bloom because it was working, and then that push did something very strange to it. But I don't know if you can see that this alcohol ink sank. Some of it sank all the way down to the bottom. The shiny stuff sank down to the bottom, but there's, let me take it out. Let me just a second. Okay, I'm zooming in. There are levels of that color. So this is really
It's fascinating. I'm sorry about that light. But those wisps, it looked like it was going to blob and it never made it all the way down to the surface. But there's depth to them. Turn that light off. See if I can. There. It's, when you inspect it up closely, there's really fascinating things that took place. So yeah, turn that back on so there's not a shadow. And my dog is walking in. I can hear his paws, her toenails on the floor. So there it is, my bloom. Different resin, works a lot better. I backed this with Pigmently Dark Matter. It's not quite a black, but it looks like gives it a space vibe. So it brings that silver out a little bit more, and you can still see all the colors of the white through there. And you still have that depth of field. Look at this. Turned off this light so that I wouldn't have too much glare. It's very, very pretty. Boom. So it's shining through. I really like this. I like the way it came out. Yep. Brought it outside into this afternoon sun so you can get a little bit of a sense of the brilliant colors on those alcoholic inks. Let me zoom way in. Wow. Whoa. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Those alcohol inks are really cool looking when you can get them with the right lighting. Not too much sun on that. Cool. Well, let me know what you think.